Hi, I'm Bronwyn Clark, Chair of Volunteering Victoria. On International Volunteer Managers Day, we're asking what's next for volunteer management. And I think what's next will be a continuation of the current situation, which is change, pivoting, embracing new ways of doing things, innovation, and I think all of those things are going to stay with us for quite a while.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Miller, Chief Executive at Volunteering Victoria. In this International Volunteer Managers Day, we're asking what's next? I'd like to think what's next is an opportunity to showcase the results and the findings from the State of Volunteering report. The resources, the calculator, the posters are all ready to go to help you build a better story at your organisation, to grow your organisation's mission and vision through volunteers and volunteering. We're really excited to work with you to support that journey. I think that's what's next. What about you?
Hi, I'm Sarah Sterling and I'm the Sector Development Manager at Volunteering Victoria. In honour of International Volunteer Managers Day, we're asking, what's next? It's been a year of change that I don't think any of us could have imagined when we started it. When I think of what's next, I think of opportunities to utilise new technologies and include new and diverse groups of volunteers. Many of us have been called upon to do new things and lead our communities in new ways, and I'm really excited to see what's next.
I'm Dominic from Volunteering Victoria. What's next? I think there's been a significant shift in our values and a fundamental rethink and more emphasis and importance put on personal connections, helping people who need it, all being in it together and doing all the things that make life worth living, which includes things like sports, arts, culture, and all of those things are only possible with volunteering. So I think next year is going to be the year of the volunteer.
Hi, my name's Kerry Uren. I work with the Interchange Network. I was thinking about the what's next question. We've had such a challenging year with COVID-19 right around the globe, but here in particular in Victoria, with months of lockdown and the restrictions placed on people, there is so much isolation and loneliness happening in our communities. And yet people everywhere have been reaching out to others, to complete strangers that they don't even know. They've left letters in letterboxes asking if someone would like a phone call or a visit over the front fence, or maybe even their grocery shopping done if they're in a high risk category. So I think for me, the what's next is the realisation that the importance of connecting with community is what volunteering is really all about. And maybe even a paradigm shift in what we do, why we do it, and how we do it.
Hi, I'm Madeline, Community Engagement Officer with Volunteering Victoria. The theme for this year's International Volunteer Managers Day is What's Next? The State of Volunteering report that we've just released shows both the massive contribution that volunteers make and also the significant disruption caused by COVID-19. If this year has taught us anything, it's the value of our community. I hope that what's next is that Volunteering Victoria will work with you, your organisation and your volunteers to keep growing volunteering throughout Victoria.
This has been a challenging year for those leading the volunteering effort as they find themselves in positions they never imagined. I hope what is next is more collaboration, more inclusion, and more opportunities to continue building resilient communities through volunteering.
I'm Gillian from Volunteering Victoria. I think what's next is the volunteering community coming together to support one another, to re-engage and restart, by sharing our stories and initiatives to help and encourage others to dive back in, to keep doing what we have been doing well and to take lessons from what we had to do differently, but which kept us connected. I think this will see us coming back stronger than ever.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Wilson, the Deputy Chair of Volunteering Victoria. The State of Volunteering report has put a value on volunteering in this state. So what's next? There is a real opportunity to promote the value of volunteering to those who currently volunteer and highlight this fact to the wider community. There is also an opportunity to highlight to people that they might already be volunteering their time, even if they haven't thought of it in that way. So what's next encouragement. That's what's next.
Hi, I'm Rosie from Volunteering Victoria. My 2020, what a year. So what's next? Rethinking our systems after seeing the ways in which we couldn't handle this change so well. Reimagining what connection looks like in a world where we are more interconnected than ever before and at times need to stay apart. And redefining the way that we look at volunteering and the role that that plays in our society.
So I've been asked to answer what's next. Truth is, if anyone tells you they know what's next, they're not telling you the truth. We don't actually know what's next. We've got lots of ideas, but we're not really sure. Maybe it's going to be more lockdowns, or a deep recession, or business as usual. We don't know. We don't know how it's going to affect our communities, our recreation, our sport, our education, our arts, our emergency services. What we do know is that whatever happens, we are going to need our volunteers. What we do know is that people need to be involved with their communities. They need to be involved in something so vital and so life-giving that it nourishes them, regardless of what's going on. And what we do know as the people who support volunteers and are involved with volunteers is that we need to bring our A game. We need to do our utmost to support them. There'll be more bushfires, there'll be more pandemics, there'll be more lockdowns, there'll be job losses, there'll be job growth, there'll be natural disasters, there'll be amazing things, there'll be incredible events that require volunteers. There'll be things that we remember fondly and things that we remember sadly. What we do know is we need volunteers. And we need to support those volunteers because they're the ones that make the difference in our community. They're the ones that make all those pieces fit. From an art gallery, to a kids' footy game, to emergencies, to education, to so many other sectors that I'm sure I've forgotten some of them. Volunteers are the key to it all. And all of us, government organizations, volunteer managers, supporting organizations, organizations that use volunteers, all of us, we need to support them and do whatever we can to help them be at their best, regardless of their circumstance, to be able to assist, help, serve, lead our communities as we move into a future that none of us know what it's going to look like.
So what's next? Collaboration, because there can never be too much. Building stronger connections, sharing knowledge and resources between volunteer involving and volunteer support organisations and local government. Supporting our communities, because when we all work together, we achieve so much more.
When we see a world struggling through the impacts of this unprecedented pandemic, with significant consequences on the physical and mental health of millions of people, it would be understandable if we threw our hands up in horror and said it was all too hard. But that is not what volunteer managers do. We eat hard for breakfast. This is an opportunity to shine, to lead volunteers in a recovery that focuses on people and connections. What's next? An opportunity to promote communities, to provide meaningful engagement for those who have been hit hard by this pandemic, and rise above politics to show that we can make a difference when we pull together.